It's certainly been a long time since we saw a new console generation. I still remember eagerly unwrapping my brand new Wii one morning 5 Christmases ago, anxious to play the brand new Zelda game, Twilight Princess, which I at the time thought was the most mind-blowing thing I'd ever seen. Obviously my tastes and my understanding of console power have changed since then, but the Wii has undoubtedly shaped the gaming world in quite a far-reaching way. In 2006, who would have seen this little white brick taking the world by storm in quite the way it did? We owe a lot to it, even if those are somewhat dubious things like the rise of Mii's, motion controls, and bits of shovelware like Cheggers Party Quiz that still infest the casuals with their insidious lack of any quality or care. But along the way, we've seen some definite diamonds in the rough, such as the wonderful Super Mario Galaxy games, No More Heroes, and Fragile Dreams, as well as some downright weird stuff like Opuna, an RPG about a small blob boy controlled using just the nunchuck. Right, are we done with the 5th anniversary of the Wii? Good, I had a topic here somewhere. Oh yeah, the Nintendo ambulance. Sorry, I meant the Wii U, Wii U, Wii U. No, bad Robin! I meant the Wii U, Nintendo's latest offering with a screen in the controller. It looks like a rounded off Wii, uses an iPad with buttons as an input device, and according to one anonymous blue spiky source at Sega, is set to be about 1.5 times as powerful as the PlayStation 3. Nintendo's announced that it's going to be released sometime in 2012, and the fans have been getting rather excited. But as usual, Cube Gamers got involved and had to make a video in which we might ruin everyone's day. Sorry guys. While I'm certainly looking forward to playing some of the AAA games announced, such as the gloomy Acrobatics Fest Batman Arkham City and the recently released Battlefield 3, I have to ask the questions of whether the Wii U will succeed. Well, let's look into what we know so far, shall we? There's a trend in Nintendo's history where their more powerful consoles tend to sell worse. It may not be related, but it is interesting that their two relatively most powerful systems, the Nintendo 64 and GameCube, both sold the lowest numbers. Looking at the GameCube in particular, it suffered a lot from an odd game format, poor marketing and a lack of online play for all but 4 games. Nintendo's kiddie image was becoming quite ingrained at this point, which can only have helped hasten the console's demise.
And clean the sludge that's on the ground.
'Cause clean is better than dirty, and dirty's meaner than clean.
Super Mario Sunshine, only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
An area where Nintendo has succeeded is with their marketing, which has been pretty excellent throughout the Wii and DS era, and I hope they can only continue to expand and improve on it. One serious area of concern, though, is that the childish, casual misconception of Nintendo continues to abound. To overcome this, they must firstly expand their promotions and bundles to include games for a more adult market. Secondly, utilise their innovative new control method to attract some serious auteurs such as Tim Schafer, Peter Molyneux or David Cage. Bringing the heavy hitters such as Ubisoft and EA in on your side is always a good idea, but then again, last time Nintendo buddied up with Ubisoft we got the Rabbids. My next concern is whether they actually have a market left. After all, most of the casual gamers who bought the Wii are probably still quite happy with it, at least enough not to justify buying an expensive new console which to their eyes brings very little. The hardcore gamers, on the other hand, have mainly jumped ship to the PlayStation and Xbox, leaving only the devoted Nintendo fans to buy the system and damning it to Sega's old Dreamcast problem of people only buying the first-party games. That said, if they can get some new AAA titles out on the console, then there may well be people who'll go out and buy it, especially if this screen and the controller thing turns out to be a good idea. Another thing is the price point. Those touchscreens for the controller probably aren't very cheap, and if there's one thing Nintendo's been pretty good at, it's making a profit and selling their consoles cheaply. It's what made them all those piles of cash back in the DS days, and it worked for the Wii as well. If, as is rumoured, the Wii U can accept 4 controllers connected to it, what will their individual cost be? We've seen controller costs rise since wireless was introduced, and it's unlikely to go back down. I'll at least be thankful for the pad having a rechargeable battery, but in the long term that only increases the amount Nintendo has to pay to get these things onto the market. And if they're still insisting on selling at a profit, we could see the sort of astronomical unit cost we've not had since the early days of the PS3. So basically Nintendo, all you need to do is sort out your promotions, sort out your bundles, get some good AAA games on your side that are new and not re-released versions of Arkham City or Battlefield 3, and then we'll be pretty interested. I hope you do well with this, because ultimately I don't like the look of the PS4 or the Xbox 720 or whatever the thing ends up being called, because I don't think they can add anything more to the existing formula. So good luck, sell it cheaply, and try and get some units shifted before the Wii magic dries up. Lastly, on a non-gaming related note, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our readers who've visited the site since August, and also I'd like to say Happy New Year to all of you. Enjoy 2012, all the games that it brings, and all the wonderful experiences you'll hopefully have. From all of us, that's Robin, Sean, Phil, Will and Flora Sprout at Cube Gamers. Thank you, and Happy New Year.